Have you ever wondered why some women can make a man completely obsessed with them, while others struggle to hold his attention no matter how much they give? It's not about looks, wealth, or endless compliments. It's not about following rules or playing games. The truth is far deeper and far more powerful than most people realize. What if I told you that there are certain behaviors, subtle yet incredibly magnetic, that can make a man addicted to you in a way that feels effortless, natural, and even joyful? And what if you could learn these behaviors today and start seeing the shift in his heart almost immediately? Before we dive into the secrets, let's pause for a moment and think about human psychology. Every person, man or woman, responds to certain energies, not just actions. Men, like all humans, are wired to seek connection, excitement, and validation. They are drawn to confidence, authenticity, and energy that makes them feel alive. That's why a simple smile from a woman who carries herself with self-assurance can make more impact than 1,000 words or endless attention. That spark, that pull, comes from deep inside, and it is absolutely within your reach. Now, here's the truth many people never talk about. Trying too hard, chasing, or overgiving only creates distance. It creates pressure. It pushes the natural flow of attraction out of balance. But when you understand the psychology of attachment, when you understand what makes a man's heart crave your presence, everything changes. Imagine him thinking about you when he's busy, wanting to share his day with you, feeling a deep emotional pull that doesn't fade. That isn't luck. That isn't magic. That is strategy, the kind that comes from deep understanding of human behavior and the energy you radiate. Here's the exciting part. The behaviors that create this deep attachment aren't manipulative. They aren't tricks. They are expressions of the best version of yourself. They are simple shifts in energy, awareness, and presence that make you irresistible without pretending to be someone you're not. They are behaviors that show your value, your confidence, and your independence all at the same time. And once you understand them, you'll see the shift in how he looks at you, how he talks to you, and how he prioritizes you in his life. By the end of this video, you're going to discover 3 beautiful behaviors that can make him addicted to you. Behaviors that, when done with authenticity, will light up his heart and mind in ways most women only dream about. And here's my promise. If you watch till the end, you'll not only know these behaviors, but you'll understand why they work, so you can use them naturally, without pressure, without fear, and with confidence. Imagine having the ability to hold his attention, to make him feel emotionally connected, and to spark a desire that feels both thrilling and comforting, all at the same time. Let's take a moment to think about this. Why do certain people capture our hearts instantly, while others fade into the background? It's not about being perfect. It's not about saying the right things at the right time. It's about the energy you carry. It's about small choices you make daily that signal your worth, your boundaries, and your uniqueness. Psychology tells us that the human brain responds to patterns of behavior more than anything else. If you consistently demonstrate confidence, appreciation, and independence, it triggers chemicals in his brain, dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin, that create emotional attachment and desire. In other words, the more you embody these behaviors, the more naturally he will want to be around you, think about you, and prioritize you. This is where the reward comes in. Stick with this video until the end, and you'll not only know the 3 behaviors that make him addicted, but you'll also understand how to integrate them into your life effortlessly. You'll discover how to shine in a way that attracts without chasing, how to create curiosity, excitement, and emotional connection that feels authentic, how to make him feel a pull toward you that goes beyond surface-level attraction, reaching into something deeper, something almost magnetic. Before we jump into the behaviors themselves, remember this: attraction is not a mystery. It's not luck. It's not about being someone else or performing tricks. It's about understanding the dynamics of human connection and using that understanding to become the most magnetic, authentic version of yourself. Once you grasp this, everything changes. You won't be guessing about how to make him stay. You won't be overthinking every text or interaction. You will naturally create the emotional pull that keeps him drawn to you again and again. So if you're ready, let's open your mind to the possibilities. Let's explore the psychology of attraction in a way that empowers you, elevates you, and makes you feel in control of your love life. By the end of this journey, you won't just know the behaviors. You'll feel the confidence to embody them fully, naturally, and beautifully. You'll know exactly how to ignite that spark, maintain the pull, and create a connection so strong that he can't imagine his life without you in it. Now take a deep breath and prepare yourself. What you're about to learn has the power to change the way he sees you, the way he feels for you, and the way your relationship grows. And the best part? It works without manipulation, without pressure, and without losing your authenticity. You're about to step into a new level of confidence, charm, and influence simply by being the best version of yourself. Before a man can become deeply attached, before he feels that magnetic pull toward a woman, he needs to sense something rare, something that makes him feel alive and appreciated at the same time. Attraction is not just physical, it is emotional, mental, and energetic. It's about how you carry yourself, how you interact, and how you make him feel in ways he might not even realize at first. Humans are wired to notice patterns, not just moments. Every small action you take communicates value, confidence, and emotional stability. These are the signals that stay in his mind long after you've left the room. Confidence is one of the most powerful forces in human psychology, and it is the foundation of attraction. A man is naturally drawn to a woman who knows her worth, who trusts herself, and who moves through the world without fear of judgment. Confidence isn't arrogance or showing off, it is quiet strength. It is a calm presence that radiates assurance. When a woman speaks her mind clearly, carries herself with grace, and trusts her own decisions, she triggers admiration. Men are instinctively drawn to security and stability, and a confident woman provides both without even trying. Confidence signals that you value yourself, and when a man senses that, he cannot help but respect and desire you. Another crucial element that creates an emotional pull is the power of genuine appreciation. Men, just like women, crave recognition. Everyone wants to feel that what they do matters, that their efforts are seen and valued. When a woman acknowledges his efforts sincerely, it activates a deep emotional response. This isn't about flattery or empty praise. It is about noticing the little things, showing that you see his true character, and making him feel significant. Psychology shows that humans release positive chemicals, like oxytocin, when they feel appreciated and connected. A simple, heartfelt acknowledgement of his qualities or actions can create warmth and attachment that is far more powerful than anything superficial. Appreciation, when given genuinely, fosters loyalty and desire in ways that words alone cannot achieve. Independence is another layer that heightens attraction. When a woman maintains her individuality, her passions, and her personal boundaries, she creates an air of intrigue. Mystery is not about secrecy. It is about being whole on your own while still inviting him to be part of your life. Men are naturally drawn to people who have their own purpose and excitement because it inspires curiosity and respect. When a woman is independent, she is not desperate for attention or validation. She operates from a place of self-assurance, and that energy is magnetic. Independence communicates strength and self-sufficiency, both of which are highly attractive qualities on a subconscious level. Attachment forms when these behaviors work together: confidence, genuine appreciation, and independence. When a man experiences these energies consistently, his brain begins to associate you with positive emotions, excitement, and security all at once. Dopamine, the chemical of pleasure, activates when he feels drawn to your energy. Oxytocin, the chemical of bonding, strengthens the emotional connection. Serotonin, the chemical of well-being, reinforces the comfort and satisfaction he experiences in your presence. By embodying these behaviors, you are not manipulating him. You are simply aligning with natural patterns that create attachment in human relationships. It's important to understand that this kind of emotional pull is subtle, not loud or aggressive. Men are drawn to authenticity. They are not captivated by pretending or trying too hard. When a woman is true to herself, she emits an energy that cannot be faked. Confidence without arrogance, appreciation without obligation, independence without detachment. This balance is rare and powerful. It is the combination of these qualities that creates a magnetic field of attraction. A man does not consciously think about it, but he feels it deeply. He wants to be near it, to experience it, and to maintain it. Another layer to consider is consistency. Human psychology responds to patterns. If a woman demonstrates confidence, appreciation, and independence in every interaction, it reinforces her value in the man's mind. Inconsistency, even in small ways, can trigger doubt or reduce attachment. But steady, authentic behavior creates security and desire simultaneously. He begins to anticipate her presence, to miss her when she is not around, and to value the emotional space she creates. That anticipation builds a natural form of addiction, not to manipulation, but to the feelings she inspires. This emotional influence is magnified when combined with self-awareness. A woman who understands herself, her needs, and her worth naturally sets boundaries. Boundaries do not push a man away, they create respect and admiration. They show that she values herself enough to refuse what does not serve her, and that standard creates a pull that keeps him engaged. A man senses that he is dealing with someone whole, someone who will not collapse under pressure or demand validation constantly. That awareness triggers desire because it signals maturity, stability, and strength, qualities that subconsciously create long-term attachment. The way a woman communicates, both verbally and non-verbally, further reinforces this pull. Simple gestures, eye contact, a smile, or a calm tone, carry weight when combined with confident, appreciative, and independent behavior. Each interaction reinforces the emotional attachment, layering desire with warmth, admiration, and connection. Over time, these patterns deepen his feelings, making him increasingly drawn to her presence and influence. Ultimately, the behaviors that make a man addicted are not about control. They are about creating a natural, magnetic energy that aligns with human psychology. Confidence shows strength. Appreciation shows emotional intelligence. Independence shows self-sufficiency. Together, they create a woman who is unforgettable, someone whose presence inspires, excites, and comforts all at once. When these qualities are embodied consistently, he will feel a pull that goes beyond attraction. It becomes emotional dependency in the healthiest sense. He will value her, seek her, and feel drawn to her in a way that feels inevitable, and natural confidence is not just a trait. It is a language that speaks louder than words. It is the invisible force that makes a woman unforgettable, the subtle energy that draws attention without effort. When a woman moves with self-assurance, she radiates a magnetic presence that a man cannot ignore. This is because humans are wired to respond to certainty. We naturally gravitate toward people who are comfortable in their own skin because it signals stability, strength, and emotional balance. Confidence is a reflection of self-respect, and men sense it instinctively. When a woman believes in herself, he feels drawn to that energy, often without even realizing why. True confidence is calm, steady, and quiet. It does not shout for attention or seek validation. It does not demand admiration. Instead, it creates an aura that communicates, "I am enough. I know my worth. I am proud of who I am." This subtle message triggers a strong emotional response in a man. He feels admiration, respect, and desire all at once. Psychology tells us that humans are naturally attracted to competence and security. When a woman demonstrates confidence, it activates his subconscious desire to connect with someone who is stable, independent, and self-assured. It makes him feel that being with her is safe, exciting, and fulfilling all at once. Confidence is most powerful when it is paired with authenticity. Men are drawn to women who are genuine, who do not pretend to be someone they are not. Authentic confidence is not about perfection. It is about embracing flaws, acknowledging strengths, and moving forward with pride. A woman who owns her uniqueness inspires fascination. She does not apologize for her presence or diminish herself to make others comfortable. She carries herself with dignity, and this self-possession becomes addictive. Men are naturally compelled to be around someone who feels whole, complete, and self-reliant. The way confidence manifests in daily behavior matters. Simple choices, standing tall, speaking clearly, maintaining eye contact, communicate inner strength. Even small gestures like a relaxed posture or a calm tone signal security. These non-verbal cues activate deep parts of the brain that respond to leadership, independence, and reliability. Men do not consciously analyze these behaviors, but they feel the effect. Each moment of confident presence reinforces the emotional connection, creating an invisible bond that strengthens over time. Confidence also includes setting boundaries gracefully. When a woman knows what she will accept and what she will not, it communicates self-respect. Men are naturally drawn to this clarity because it provides structure and certainty in the relationship. Boundaries are not barriers. They are invitations for him to value and respect her more deeply. By showing that she will not compromise her standards, she ignites admiration and deep emotional attachment. This sense of respect creates a form of psychological pull that goes far beyond physical attraction. Another aspect of confidence that triggers attachment is the ability to embrace challenges without fear. A woman who faces difficulties with composure and optimism demonstrates resilience. Resilience is magnetic because it signals strength and stability. A man instinctively feels drawn to someone who can navigate life with grace, someone who can provide emotional balance during uncertainty. Confidence in this context is not about dominating situations. It is about carrying oneself with poise, maintaining inner peace, and inspiring security. These qualities create admiration, respect, and ultimately, emotional dependence. Confidence is also deeply connected to joy and enthusiasm. A woman who enjoys her life, pursues her passions, and expresses happiness naturally draws a man in. Joy is contagious, and it creates emotional resonance. When a man witnesses her confidence in action, whether through her laughter, her achievements, or her simple daily choices, he experiences pleasure and excitement. This emotional stimulation strengthens attachment because it links her presence with positive experiences, making him crave more of her energy. It is important to note that confidence is not about controlling him or manipulating his feelings. It is about embodying a state of being that is irresistible. Men are drawn to energy that feels whole, balanced, and authentic. Confidence communicates that a woman is self-sufficient, capable, and vibrant. It tells him she values herself enough to demand respect, and in turn, he naturally feels compelled to rise to her energy. This creates a powerful psychological loop. The more he experiences her confidence, the more he admires her, the more he desires to be near her, and the deeper the attachment grows. Consistency in confident behavior amplifies its impact. A woman who consistently demonstrates self-assurance reinforces the perception of stability and value. Inconsistent behavior such as wavering confidence or seeking approval can weaken attachment, but steady, authentic confidence builds anticipation, admiration, and desire. It signals reliability, and the human brain craves patterns that bring emotional reward. Each confident interaction strengthens his emotional investment and subtly increases his dependence on her presence. Finally, confidence is contagious. When a woman embodies self-belief, she inspires him to match her energy. He becomes more engaged, more attentive, and more emotionally involved. Her confidence does not push him away. It elevates the dynamic of the relationship, creating a sense of excitement, admiration, and deep connection. Men feel drawn to women who shine from within because it triggers a mixture of respect, desire, and emotional craving. This is why confidence is not just attractive, it is transformative. Genuine appreciation is one of the most underestimated forces in human relationships. It is not about flattery, compliments, or empty words. It is about seeing the true value in someone and making them feel recognized. When a man feels appreciated, it goes beyond the surface. It touches something deep inside, creating warmth, connection, and a sense of importance. Psychology shows that humans are wired to respond to acknowledgement. The brain rewards recognition with chemicals like oxytocin, which strengthens emotional bonds and builds trust. Appreciation is not just polite behavior. It is a tool that naturally fosters attachment. True appreciation comes from attentiveness. It is about noticing what others often overlook, the effort, the thoughtfulness, and the small actions that reveal character. When a woman genuinely acknowledges these qualities in a man, she taps into a deep human desire to be seen and valued. This is more powerful than compliments on appearance or status. He doesn't just feel noticed, he feels understood. And when someone feels understood, a strong emotional connection forms. This connection is magnetic, pulling him closer with each interaction. Authenticity is the cornerstone of effective appreciation. Men can sense when acknowledgement is sincere versus when it is performed for effect. Fake praise is transparent and often creates doubt or disengagement. Genuine appreciation is subtle yet profound. It communicates that a woman is present, attentive, and emotionally intelligent. It tells him that she values his efforts, respects his choices, and honors his presence. This recognition builds trust, admiration, and desire simultaneously. It makes him feel that being with her enhances his life, not just in moments of fun, but in ways that matter deeply. The psychology behind this is simple but powerful. Humans crave reinforcement. Positive reinforcement, when delivered authentically, strengthens behavior and emotional attachment. When a man experiences genuine appreciation, his brain links his actions and qualities to positive emotional outcomes. He begins to associate her presence with feelings of validation, excitement, and fulfillment. Over time, this creates a natural pull. He wants to repeat the actions that bring acknowledgement because it feels rewarding. This is how appreciation can lead to emotional dependency in the healthiest sense, through respect, admiration, and deep emotional resonance. Appreciation also communicates emotional safety. A man who feels valued feels free to be himself, to share his thoughts, dreams, and vulnerabilities without fear of judgment. This creates a profound emotional intimacy that is rare in most interactions. Men are drawn to women who create this space because it is nurturing and validating. He feels seen, heard, and understood, which strengthens attachment on a subconscious level. Emotional safety paired with genuine acknowledgement forms a bond that goes far beyond superficial attraction. It becomes essential to his emotional satisfaction. Consistency and appreciation amplifies its effect. It is not about constant praise or exaggeration, but about reliably noticing and valuing meaningful actions and qualities. A pattern of genuine recognition reinforces the emotional connection and increases his desire to be part of her world. Humans are wired to respond to patterns of behavior more than isolated moments. Each authentic acknowledgement builds a sense of reliability and emotional resonance, making him naturally crave her presence. Timing and subtlety are also key. Appreciation does not need to be loud or over the top. Small gestures, a quiet acknowledgement of effort, or a heartfelt comment about something he did can create lasting emotional impact. Men respond strongly to authenticity paired with thoughtful delivery. When appreciation feels natural and effortless, it communicates maturity, intelligence, and emotional depth. It creates a psychological environment where he feels drawn to her presence and emotionally compelled to invest in the relationship. Appreciation is also a reflection of emotional intelligence. It demonstrates that a woman understands human needs, recognizes value, and can connect deeply without ego or expectation. This awareness creates admiration. He does not just feel liked, he feels respected and cherished. Emotional intelligence, expressed through genuine acknowledgement, elevates the dynamic of the relationship. It makes interactions richer, more meaningful, and emotionally fulfilling, increasing his investment and attachment over time. This behavior works hand in hand with confidence. A woman who is self-assured and consistently appreciative communicates a balance of strength and warmth. Confidence draws him in, appreciation keeps him engaged. Together, they form a foundation of desire, respect, and emotional connection that becomes hard to resist. Men respond to this combination instinctively. They feel drawn not only to the woman, but to the emotional experience she creates, which becomes addictive in the sense that it satisfies fundamental psychological needs. Ultimately, genuine appreciation is about creating a positive emotional ecosystem. It is about making him feel seen, valued, and understood on a level deeper than most interactions allow. It is about celebrating his presence, acknowledging his efforts, and expressing authentic gratitude. When done consistently, it strengthens attachment, deepens desire, and creates a relationship dynamic where he naturally gravitates toward her, not out of obligation or expectation, but because being with her feels essential. Mystery and independence are the invisible threads that keep attraction alive and create a magnetic pull that is impossible to ignore. When a woman maintains a sense of individuality and personal space, she does not push him away. She deepens his curiosity and desire. Men are naturally drawn to what they cannot fully predict, to what feels unique, exciting, and alive. Mystery is not about playing games or hiding information. It is about embodying a life that is full, purposeful, and intriguing. When a man senses that a woman has her own passions, goals, and experiences, he instinctively wants to be part of that energy. Independence communicates strength and self-sufficiency. A woman who pursues her interests, maintains her friendships, and honors her personal goals signals that she is whole on her own. This self-reliance is magnetic because it triggers admiration. Men are drawn to people who are not dependent on them for happiness, because it creates a sense of respect and emotional balance. When a woman has her own life, she becomes a source of inspiration rather than obligation. Her independence invites him to rise to her energy rather than feel burdened by expectation. Mystery works hand in hand with independence. When a woman does not reveal everything about herself immediately, when she keeps some experiences, thoughts, or dreams private, it ignites curiosity. Human psychology responds strongly to the unknown. The brain naturally seeks to explore what is partially hidden. This curiosity fosters emotional investment. He wants to know more, to understand her world, and to feel included in a life that is rich and vibrant. Mystery is not manipulation. It is a reflection of a woman who values herself and her experiences. It signals that she is complex, fascinating, and worth the effort to understand. Another key aspect of independence is the ability to make decisions confidently. A woman who trusts her judgment and takes initiative in her life communicates leadership and self-respect. Men are instinctively drawn to decisiveness because it signals capability and stability. It also creates a dynamic in which he feels admiration and respect, rather than control or entitlement. Confidence in choices paired with autonomy produces a balance of emotional pull and intrigue. He experiences attraction that is both respectful and deeply engaging. Independence also encourages emotional stability. A woman who relies on herself for emotional fulfillment does not demand constant reassurance. This balance creates a sense of security and calm in the relationship, which paradoxically makes him more invested. Human psychology shows that people are drawn to emotional reliability, and independence communicates that naturally. He feels drawn to someone who is resilient, composed, and capable of thriving in her own life. This emotional grounding creates admiration and fosters deep attachment over time. Mystery enhances this attachment by introducing unpredictability in a subtle, positive way. A woman who shares glimpses of her passions, goals, and personality without revealing everything at once keeps him intrigued. He begins to anticipate moments with her, to wonder what she will do next, and to value the time he spends learning more about her. This anticipation releases dopamine in the brain, creating pleasure, excitement, and emotional craving. The combination of independence and mystery ensures that attraction does not fade into complacency. It evolves into deeper admiration and desire. Embracing independence also means maintaining boundaries without guilt. A woman who prioritizes her life and protects her time communicates value. Men respond strongly to this because it signals self-respect and emotional intelligence. Boundaries do not create distance. They create a sense of worth that naturally draws him closer. By showing that she will not compromise her needs, a woman inspires respect, loyalty, and emotional investment. He feels compelled to rise to her energy and maintain a connection because he recognizes her value and uniqueness. Another powerful dimension is the ability to create space for personal growth. Independence allows both partners to grow individually while staying connected. A woman who invests in herself, her skills, her passions, and her happiness becomes more compelling over time. Men are drawn to growth, progress, and energy that inspires. When he sees her evolving, thriving, and pursuing life with purpose, he experiences admiration and emotional attachment. Mystery and independence create a dynamic in which he not only desires her, but respects and values the person she is becoming. Consistency in demonstrating independence and mystery reinforces this pull. Predictable patterns of autonomy and intrigue create a stable yet stimulating dynamic. He learns that her presence is rewarding, engaging, and emotionally satisfying. Over time, he associates these feelings with her consistently, building deep attachment and loyalty. This combination of emotional security, admiration, and curiosity forms a magnetic force that is both irresistible and sustainable. Ultimately, mystery and independence are about creating a life that is fully lived, fully embraced, and fully self-owned. A woman who embodies these qualities does not chase attention. She commands it naturally. She does not depend on validation. She inspires it. She does not need to reveal everything. She encourages exploration. These behaviors tap into fundamental aspects of human psychology: the desire for connection, the need for challenge, and the craving for admiration. By maintaining her individuality and inviting curiosity, she becomes someone he wants to be close to, someone he admires, and someone he cannot imagine losing when confidence, genuine appreciation, and mystery, combined with independence come together, they form a powerful force that goes far beyond surface-level attraction. Each behavior reinforces the other, creating a magnetic energy that draws him in, keeps him engaged, and makes him emotionally invested. This combination taps into fundamental aspects of human psychology: admiration, desire, emotional security, and curiosity. When aligned naturally, these three behaviors produce an effect that is both immediate and lasting, creating attachment that feels effortless yet profound. Confidence establishes the foundation. When a woman radiates self-assurance, she communicates strength, value, and stability. This confidence alone creates admiration, respect, and attraction. Men are drawn to certainty, and confident energy signals that a woman is whole, capable, and deserving of attention. However, confidence alone is not enough to maintain long-term attachment. Without emotional connection, admiration may fade into distant respect, lacking the warmth that creates longing. This is where genuine appreciation steps in. Appreciation builds emotional intimacy. When a woman acknowledges his efforts, values his qualities, and celebrates his presence, she triggers deep psychological responses. His brain releases chemicals that reinforce connection, pleasure, and attachment. Genuine appreciation creates a sense of being seen, understood, and valued, feelings that go far beyond physical attraction. When paired with confidence, appreciation becomes even more powerful. He sees her as someone who is not only strong and self-assured, but also emotionally intelligent, capable of nurturing connection without losing her independence. Mystery and independence elevate the entire dynamic. They create intrigue, curiosity, and admiration for her individuality. When a woman maintains her own life, passions, and personal boundaries, she does not create distance. She creates a pull. Humans are wired to respond to what is partially unknown, to what feels rich, exciting, and independent. This unpredictability, combined with the stability and warmth of confidence and appreciation, creates a balance that keeps him engaged mentally, emotionally, and even physically. He wants to be part of her life, not out of obligation, but because being near her feels rewarding, exciting, and fulfilling. The interaction of these three behaviors activates deep parts of the brain associated with emotional attachment. Dopamine, the chemical of pleasure, is triggered when he experiences excitement and anticipation. Oxytocin, the bonding chemical, is released when he feels understood, appreciated, and emotionally connected. Serotonin, associated with contentment and stability, reinforces the sense of safety he experiences in her presence. This chemical combination is natural and instinctive, creating a pull that is felt as desire, attachment, and even mild dependence. The more consistently these behaviors are demonstrated, the stronger the emotional bond becomes. Psychologically, this combination addresses multiple human needs simultaneously. Confidence appeals to his admiration and respect for strength. Appreciation fulfills his need to feel seen, valued, and emotionally validated. Mystery and independence feed curiosity and stimulate engagement, preventing emotional complacency. Together, they form a complete system that satisfies his desire for connection, excitement, and emotional fulfillment. This is why a man feels drawn, invested, and even addicted to a woman who embodies these qualities consistently. Another key aspect is the emotional rhythm created by these behaviors. Confidence establishes a steady foundation of admiration. Appreciation adds warmth and emotional depth. Mystery introduces excitement and anticipation. This rhythm creates a dynamic emotional experience that keeps him mentally and emotionally stimulated. Humans are wired to respond strongly to this kind of emotional flow. Predictable patterns of connection, combined with elements of surprise and intrigue, increase the intensity of desire, admiration, and attachment. Over time, this pattern becomes something he craves naturally. These behaviors also enhance his sense of respect and loyalty. Confidence signals that she values herself, appreciation shows that she values him, and independence demonstrates that she maintains her own life and boundaries. This combination communicates balance and emotional intelligence, qualities that men deeply respect. When he respects her on multiple levels, strength, intelligence, and authenticity, he becomes more invested emotionally. Loyalty grows not from obligation, but from admiration and emotional connection. which are far more compelling forces. Consistency amplifies the effect. Each demonstration of confidence, appreciation, and independence reinforces his attachment. Humans respond to repeated positive experiences. When he experiences admiration, validation, and intrigue consistently, his emotional brain begins to associate these feelings with her presence. Attachment grows naturally, without manipulation or pressure. He begins to anticipate her presence, value her attention, and seek opportunities to connect with her emotionally. This creates a powerful feedback loop. The more she demonstrates these behaviors authentically, the stronger his desire and emotional pull become. Finally, these three behaviors combined create a sense of inevitability in the relationship dynamic. He does not feel forced or manipulated. He feels drawn, respected, and engaged. He experiences admiration, excitement, emotional satisfaction, and longing all at once. The attachment that forms is not superficial. It is rooted in genuine connection, respect, and desire. It is a connection that makes him want to invest, protect, and cherish the woman who embodies these qualities. The magic of this combination lies in its natural, authentic expression. It is not about pretending, performing, or following a script. It is about embodying a mindset, a presence, and behaviors that reflect self-respect, emotional intelligence, and individuality. When confidence, appreciation, and independence coexist naturally, they create a woman who is unforgettable, magnetic, and deeply compelling. This is the kind of energy that makes him feel not only drawn to her, but emotionally invested in a way that feels irresistible and lasting. Embarking on the journey to make him emotionally invested is not about grand gestures or complicated routines. It is about consistent, conscious choices that reflect confidence, appreciation, and independence in every interaction. Small daily habits rooted in authenticity can create a magnetic energy that naturally draws him in. These practices are simple but powerful because human psychology responds more to repeated patterns than occasional effort. When applied naturally, they build attachment, admiration, and desire without pressure or manipulation. Confidence starts with presence. Being fully engaged in your own life, in your conversations, and in your choices communicates inner strength. Each day, remind yourself of your value and move with assurance in your actions. Speak clearly, maintain a steady posture, and express your thoughts without hesitation. Even small choices, like making eye contact when you interact or carrying yourself with calm energy, reinforce a sense of self-worth. The steady, authentic presence triggers admiration and keeps him drawn to your energy because he senses certainty and strength. Another simple way to embody confidence is through personal growth. Engaging in activities that challenge you, pursuing new skills, and setting goals reinforces your self-assurance. Men are naturally attracted to women who are evolving, who have purpose, and who display competence in their pursuits. Growth creates excitement and admiration because it demonstrates that you are capable, self-reliant, and continuously becoming the best version of yourself. This energy is irresistible as it activates curiosity, respect, and desire simultaneously. Appreciation can be woven into everyday moments. Observing the little things he does, recognizing his efforts, and expressing genuine acknowledgement creates emotional resonance. This does not require elaborate expressions. A heartfelt comment, a simple word of thanks, or noticing a quality he takes pride in can have a profound impact. Men respond strongly to being seen and valued. Consistent, authentic appreciation triggers a sense of emotional connection, making him feel understood and respected. Over time, these small gestures reinforce attachment because he associates your presence with recognition and positive feelings. Emotional attentiveness enhances appreciation. Listen actively to what he shares. Acknowledge his thoughts and feelings without judgment. Express gratitude for the ways he contributes to your life and the lives of others around him. This level of attentiveness communicates emotional intelligence and nurtures the bond between you. When combined with confidence, it amplifies his respect and admiration because he experiences both security and warmth in your presence. Independence requires intentionality in daily life. Maintaining personal routines, investing time in hobbies, and nurturing friendships outside the relationship communicates that your happiness is self-generated. Men are instinctively attracted to women who have their own life because it signals stability, strength, and authenticity. Independence also cultivates mystery. When you share selectively, you create curiosity and intrigue. Subtle hints about your passions, goals, and experiences keep him engaged, encouraging him to invest effort in learning more about you. This psychological pull is natural, as the brain responds to both familiarity and novelty simultaneously. Setting boundaries is another essential element of independence. Clearly defining what you will and will not accept communicates self-respect. This is not about creating distance or conflict. It is about showing that you value yourself enough to protect your time, energy, and emotional well-being. Men are drawn to this clarity because it signals maturity and strength. Boundaries create respect and deepen attachment, as they establish a balance of freedom and connection. When he sees that you maintain your own standards, he is more likely to invest emotionally, knowing that his attention and efforts are genuinely valued. Consistency is the thread that ties all these behaviors together. Each day, make conscious choices that reinforce confidence, appreciation, and independence. These behaviors are most effective when applied naturally and reliably, not sporadically. Daily engagement with these habits shapes the patterns that he experiences, creating emotional rewards that deepen his desire and attachment. Repetition builds anticipation, admiration, and loyalty, because humans respond strongly to stable, predictable experiences that are paired with positive emotional outcomes. Self-reflection supports the integration of these behaviors. Take time to assess your actions, energy, and emotional state each day. Notice whether you are moving with confidence, expressing genuine appreciation, and maintaining independence. Self-awareness ensures that your behaviors remain authentic, balanced, and aligned with your values. It prevents reliance on performance or external validation, reinforcing your natural magnetism. This awareness amplifies the psychological impact of your presence because he senses authenticity, emotional depth, and stability consistently. Finally, embodying these behaviors daily is not about perfection. It is about commitment to your own growth, authenticity, and emotional intelligence. Confidence, appreciation, and independence are habits that can be strengthened over time. Each intentional choice contributes to a magnetic energy that keeps him emotionally invested. By living in alignment with these principles, you create a dynamic where he naturally desires your presence, values your attention, and respects your individuality. This is the power of consistent, authentic behavior. It transforms ordinary interactions into deep emotional connection, admiration, and attachment. Self-love is the foundation that allows confidence, appreciation, and independence to shine authentically. Without self-respect and inner fulfillment, behaviors risk becoming performative or inconsistent. When a woman truly values herself, she embodies a magnetic energy that draws him in naturally. Self-love is not selfishness. It is a deep acknowledgement of one's worth, a commitment to personal growth, and a choice to prioritize emotional well-being. This internal state radiates outward, influencing every interaction and reinforcing behaviors that inspire admiration and attachment. Confidence grows effortlessly from self-love. A woman who understands her value does not seek external validation to feel complete. She carries herself with calm assurance because her worth is intrinsic, not dependent on others' approval. Men sense this energy instinctively. When he interacts with someone who trusts herself, he feels drawn to her stability, strength, and self-possession. Confidence anchored in self-love creates a natural allure because it communicates that she is whole, capable, and worthy of respect. This makes him feel admiration, desire, and emotional security simultaneously. Appreciation also becomes more authentic when rooted in self-love. A woman who is secure in herself can recognize and value others without fear of losing her own identity. Genuine acknowledgement comes from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. She notices the qualities and efforts of those around her and celebrates them sincerely. Men respond strongly to this type of appreciation because it communicates emotional intelligence, empathy, and presence. When appreciation flows from self-respect, it triggers a deeper emotional connection, creating warmth and attachment that feels natural and effortless. Independence flourishes in the presence of self-love. When a woman prioritizes her personal growth, passions, and happiness, she naturally maintains boundaries that protect her energy. Independence rooted in self-respect communicates that she is capable of thriving on her own, Men are drawn to this energy because it signals maturity, strength, and stability. A woman who loves herself does not need to chase attention or validation. Instead, she creates space for curiosity, respect, and admiration, inviting him to engage with her life rather than control it. Self-love also strengthens emotional resilience. Life brings challenges, and a woman who values herself can navigate difficulties with grace and composure. This resilience communicates reliability and emotional stability, qualities that men find highly attractive. When he observes her handling situations with confidence and balance, he experiences admiration, trust, and a sense of security. These emotions reinforce attachment because he associates her presence with stability, competence, and calm energy. Maintaining self-love encourages clarity in relationships. A woman who respects herself sets boundaries, communicates her needs, and refuses to compromise her values. This clarity is magnetic because it creates a sense of fairness, respect, and balance. Men instinctively appreciate women who are self-assured enough to honor their own needs while engaging meaningfully in a connection. By establishing these boundaries from a place of self-love, she fosters loyalty, admiration, and emotional investment naturally. Self-love also fuels authenticity, which amplifies attraction. A woman who honors herself does not pretend to be someone else or perform behaviors to manipulate attention. She expresses her thoughts, emotions, and desires honestly, which creates transparency and trust. Authenticity is a powerful psychological driver of attachment because it allows men to engage with her genuinely. When he feels he is experiencing the real person, his admiration deepens, desire grows, and emotional connection strengthens. The psychological impact of self-love extends to subtle behaviors as well. Simple daily choices, how she speaks, carries herself, and interacts with others, reflect her inner value. Confidence becomes effortless, appreciation becomes sincere, and independence feels natural. These behaviors, reinforced by self-love, create a consistent energy that men cannot resist. This consistency builds emotional patterns that make him crave her presence, respect her boundaries, and desire her authenticity. Self-love also cultivates joy and fulfillment. A woman who is content with herself brings positivity, energy, and enthusiasm into her interactions. Men are drawn to this energy because it is contagious and uplifting. When he associates her presence with joy, admiration, and emotional satisfaction, attachment becomes inevitable. Self-love allows her to shine without dependence, making her presence not only desirable but essential to his emotional experience. Finally, self-love ensures that the pull created by confidence, appreciation, and independence is sustainable. It prevents exhaustion, resentment, or overgiving because actions come from a place of authenticity and abundance. When a woman operates from self-respect, the behaviors that make him emotionally invested are natural extensions of who she is, not tactics or strategies. This alignment between inner state and outward behavior creates a magnetic presence that draws him in, keeps him engaged, and fosters deep emotional attachment that lasts. Emotional attachment is more than feelings. It is a complex response of the mind and heart working together. Humans are wired to connect, to seek security, and to pursue emotional satisfaction. When a man encounters a woman who demonstrates confidence, genuine appreciation, and independence, he experiences a unique combination of admiration, excitement, and comfort. These feelings stimulate parts of the brain that govern desire, loyalty, and attachment. This is why certain women can create an emotional pull that feels irresistible and magnetic. Confidence taps into admiration. When a woman trusts herself and moves through life with self-assurance, it signals strength and stability. Men are instinctively drawn to competence and certainty. This admiration is not superficial. It is a deep respect for someone who can navigate life independently and confidently. When admiration is combined with emotional warmth, it produces desire, because he begins to associate her presence with feelings of safety, excitement, and inspiration. Confidence communicates value without words, and that energy alone can trigger emotional dependency over time. Genuine appreciation directly influences attachment because it fulfills a fundamental psychological need, the desire to be seen and valued. When a man's efforts, qualities, or intentions are acknowledged sincerely, it activates positive emotional responses. Oxytocin, the bonding hormone, is released, creating a sense of closeness and trust. Appreciation communicates understanding and validation, which are essential for emotional intimacy. The more he experiences this acknowledgement consistently, the more he associates her presence with satisfaction, reward, and connection. This process naturally builds attachment, because he craves the positive feelings that arise when he is recognized and appreciated. Independence and mystery trigger curiosity and engagement. Men are naturally attracted to people who have their own goals, passions, and boundaries. Mystery adds a layer of unpredictability that stimulates mental and emotional interest. The brain is drawn to patterns, but it is equally fascinated by what is partially unknown. When a woman maintains a life that is rich, purposeful, and independent, she creates an irresistible dynamic. He wants to learn more, to be part of her experiences, and to engage with someone who feels alive and intriguing. This psychological pull fuels desire and deepens attachment because he perceives her as valuable, complex, and worth the investment of attention. These three behaviors combined create a balance that triggers both emotional safety and excitement. Humans crave experiences that are rewarding but not predictable in every detail. Confidence establishes reliability, appreciation builds emotional warmth, and independence adds curiosity. This triad produces a unique emotional rhythm that keeps him engaged mentally, emotionally, and even physically. His brain responds by associating her presence with a mix of pleasure, admiration, and emotional satisfaction. Over time, this forms a loop of desire and attachment that feels effortless but is deeply powerful. Attachment is reinforced by consistency and authenticity. When these behaviors are displayed naturally and reliably, the emotional pattern strengthens. Predictable admiration, acknowledgement, and intrigue make him feel secure yet excited, creating a bond that deepens daily. Inconsistent behavior, on the other hand, can create doubt, uncertainty, or emotional withdrawal. The key is to embody these traits genuinely, from a place of self-respect and authenticity. Emotional attachment grows strongest when he senses that her energy is reliable, positive, and rewarding. Psychology also shows that humans are drawn to people who inspire both emotional satisfaction and challenge. Confidence encourages respect, appreciation stimulates connection, and independence fosters curiosity. Together, they satisfy multiple psychological needs at once: the desire for security, validation, admiration, and mental stimulation. This combination triggers dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin, creating pleasure, calm, and bonding simultaneously. These chemicals reinforce the emotional pull, making him increasingly drawn to her presence and more invested in the relationship. The intensity of attachment also grows when these behaviors interact dynamically. Confidence alone might inspire respect, but without appreciation, he may feel admired but not emotionally connected. Appreciation alone can create warmth, but without confidence, he may feel valued without desire. Independence alone might spark curiosity, but without emotional engagement, it can feel distant. When all three behaviors coexist, they produce a holistic experience that is psychologically irresistible. He experiences admiration, connection, curiosity, and emotional satisfaction all at once, which makes him feel naturally attached and deeply invested. Another aspect is anticipation. Humans are wired to seek out rewards, and when interactions consistently provide emotional fulfillment, he begins to anticipate her presence. Confidence, appreciation, and independence create positive emotional triggers that he associates with her. Anticipation heightens desire because he looks forward to the pleasure, admiration, and connection that come with being around her. This psychological pattern creates attachment that feels almost magnetic, as he naturally seeks to repeat these rewarding experiences. Ultimately, the psychology of emotional attachment shows why these behaviors are so effective. They satisfy fundamental human needs: admiration, validation, curiosity, and security. They stimulate pleasure, bonding, and fulfillment simultaneously. When a woman embodies confidence, appreciation, and independence consistently, she creates an environment where he feels drawn, engaged, and emotionally invested. The desire he experiences is not superficial. It is rooted in deep psychological responses that make him naturally seek her presence, value her attention, and maintain connection over time. At the heart of every meaningful connection lies the energy we bring into it. Confidence. Genuine appreciation and independence are not tricks or strategies. They are reflections of who a woman truly is when she honors herself. When these qualities are embodied consistently, they create a presence that is magnetic, compelling, and unforgettable. A man does not merely notice her, he experiences her energy, feels the depth of her authenticity, and becomes naturally drawn to the emotional space she creates. This is the power of alignment between self-worth and behavior. Every interaction becomes an opportunity to reinforce this connection. Small, conscious choices, standing tall, acknowledging his efforts, maintaining your own passions, accumulate into a consistent pattern that he can sense on a deep level. Human psychology responds to patterns more than single moments. When he experiences admiration, emotional warmth, and curiosity repeatedly, it builds a foundation of attachment and desire that feels inevitable. He begins to value your presence, seek your attention, and invest emotionally in ways that feel natural and fulfilling. Reflection and self-awareness are vital in sustaining this energy. Understanding your emotions, recognizing your worth, and being attuned to your own needs allows you to act from authenticity rather than performance. Men are subconsciously drawn to authenticity because it communicates stability, honesty, and depth. The more you operate from a place of self-respect, the stronger the attraction and attachment become.